So for the last task we're going to have a look at building a teapot. Teapots come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but this teapot that I'm looking at certainly has a different shape. I'm not going to create a detachable lid, but I am going to have a look at some of the different effects I can actually create within Maya. So we have a round tube and we have a round handle as well. So that's going to create, we're going to have to create some different shapes. So here we are in Maya. I'm going to start with a cylinder just to make things nice and easy, and I'm going to create 3 subdivisions of the height of this cylinder. I'm going to also use the transform tool just to pull this out. So I'm going to scale out the base of the actual teapot, just using the scale tool on the vertexes, something like that. It's going to give me the basic shape. Now if I start changing the shapes, obviously these is going to cause me all sorts of problems, so I'm committed to 20 subdivisions on this, but I believe I'm probably going to need them anyway for the to make the handles points. So I'm going to start with the handles. I'm going to put an edge loop in here. So the edge loop is actually on this side, so we'll just pop the edge loop in there, and that's going to create a set of 4 faces that I'm going to use. I'm going to extrude these faces and just offset them. So I'm using the offset tool command. Oops, just undo that. Just going to slide the offset in. Probably using about 0.8 on this offset. Oops. I seem to have just stepped back a bit there. Just use that. There we go. Middle mouse to drag. There we go. And I'm going to create a cylinder for this one. So this is going to be the bottom, and then I'm going to put one up here as well. So this is going to go in there, and I'm going to put one in there, just making sure I don't select anything else. So I'm going to use the extrude face, and again using the middle mouse I'm just going to offset that as well. So this is creating the area where I'm going to put my 2 handle pieces. So just having a look in there. So we're going to put this. I'm not going to make it as accurate as probably what it could be. I just want to just get this thing looking good. Okay, so I'm going to build an 8-sided cylinder. I'm just going to bring this out, and I don't want any divisions on the top of this cylinder. There we go. So I'm going to delete these. There we go. Okay, and we're going to just rotate this cylinder into place. So I'm going to turn on wireframe just to help me a little bit with this one. So we're going to put the wireframe on so we can see where this is going to go. I'm just going to slide this somewhere near to where I think I want to line up the actual cylinder shape. So something like that I think probably works quite well. And what I'm going to do is we're going to snap the vertex points. We're going to use point snap, and we're going to snap those vertex points to each one of the vertexes that we can see on that cylinder. So this is just using another bit of geometry just to help me get the right shape I wanted. Because this geometry isn't attached, it means I can actually go back, move this geometry up a bit further. Remember to take off point snapping. There you go. And rotate this in again. Something like that. Probably needs to be a bit smaller, this one. There's a center point there, so I can see that I am around the center, and we're going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to turn on point snapping. I'm just going to snap these points in nice and quick. It does change the planar shape of these faces, so we have to be as close as we can to the first time. Okay, so we can now get rid of that there. Okay, so these faces need to go. We know we've done that before. We did that with the mug. So that's ready for a handle to be built for them. We may have to just make a bit of an amendment there. Just pushing this in a little bit. Again, it will change the profile slightly, but you'll find anomalies all over some of the pots that are created. So we'll build that in with the bridge. Okay, it still remembers our last one because we had a curve on the last one, so we can actually use the last one's settings, and for that we can actually then start to manipulate out that handle. Now we need to add probably 12 divisions to this to make this look something like. So we're going to get this really nice and high. There we go. And we're getting somewhere with that. Okay, so the handle is sort of in place. I'm going to just add to this a slight taper to this, just to give it some sort of feeling of how it should look. And I'm also going to use an extrude. So we can pull this extrusion straight out of the geometry, and I use the wireframe vertex mode just to shape this up a little bit. Okay, so we're starting to get that initial shape. We'll probably do another one just up there as well. I'm not going to do that one yet though. Okay, so we need to do a same thing at the front for the spout. So we'll build another one. Probably could have saved the one we had, but we know now how to do this quite quick. Let's just pull that out. Just using the grid snap. X is the quick command for this. We'll delete the top and bottom of those. Okay, now I'm actually going to use this one, so I'm going to start to shape this one up a little bit better. So I'm going to shape the top of it. Okay, so I'm going to shape the top of it something like, using the axis, something like that. And I'm going to shape the bottom of it into position. Something like this. Okay, so we're going to use an insert tool just to show how we can actually manipulate the components. So we'll just push this component up and this one sort of down. Okay, and we can move these in a little bit tighter. There we go. Okay, so we have our front of our teapot selected. I'm going to select these faces and I'm going to create that offset. Okay, And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually delete the faces that are inside this, because we're going to end up welding these together. So to make this fit a little bit better, I'm going to actually spread these out the other way. So we're going to take these vertexes and we're going to snap these vertexes into the respective offsets. Here we go. Okay, so they're now in their respective offsets. So what I'm going to do is select both these objects and I'm going to combine them together using the combine tool. Okay, so it needed 2 polygons, but it's combined them okay. And then we need to merge the vertexes. So we're going to use the merge command. Just going to open this up so you can see. And we're going to use a threshold of 0, 1. So that makes sure that all those vertexes stay together. Now if we look through our history, we can see we've got quite a bit going on in that history. So let's get and delete that history. Edit, delete by type, history, and we're good to go. I'm not going to put the lid on. Remember, this is just building that teapot shape that we had, and it's just been done really by having a look at what we were doing and building it up.